Welcome everybody to the tier list I do for every expansion. This time it's for the brand new expansion. What is it called again? The Lost City of Ungoro. I have been really excited for this expansion because I have an event that's being hosted for it called Rarran's Rumble, which will be this Saturday. You should watch it. We're gonna go through every legendary, rate them. Let's go through what I mean here. D, unplayable. C, could be playable, but it's very unlikely. B, it's probably all right. Like you could add it to your deck. I think you'd be okay with it. A, you're probably gonna build around it. S, God tier, will be nerfed in my opinion. All right, just so we know where my credibility's at. Okay, I thought Wallow is gonna get nerfed. God, this is like the worst list I've ever seen, to be honest. Holy fuck, this list is so bad. Okay, we don't have to cut this from the video. We don't need to show my credibility. Don't worry about it. It's fine. As we know from the last one, I was really accurate. I almost got everyone right. Quite frankly, I am really good at this. Blizzard's actually getting consultant on my design and balance thoughts for the upcoming expansion. So I thought, you know, to help them out for free and get paid on YouTube, I would show up again and give them my overall ratings for the upcoming legendary. I haven't reviewed the rogue cards yet, so this is going to be your first take here. Opu the Unseen, a 6-mana 6/4 Battlecry combo and Death Rattle, and you get Fan of Knives. Fan of Knives is a 2-mana, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions, and it draws a card. This is a really interesting card. Let's cut combo for 1 second. Am I okay spending 6 mana for a 6/4? Oh, it's casting? Cut it for the video. From the top, you can look at this as 6 mana, 6/4 Battlecry, draw a card, deal 1 damage to the enemy board. And then Death Rattle, draw 1 card, deal 1 damage to the enemy board. And if you get combo, that's actually kind of fire. The combo is pretty good. But it's 6 mana, man. It's like, if you get the combo, like, dude, 6 mana to deal 2 damage to the enemy board and also draw 2 cards. Dude, that sounds really good. I'm gonna be honest. That sounds really good. And you got the pirate from Whizbang's Workshop. Nah, dude, that sounds really good. That sounds insanely good. Where is this legendary? I'm gonna honestly put in a beats here. I actually think that sounds really good in my head. Like, I think that's a really playable card in Rogue. Like, I like the fact it draws. I kind of like it. I think that's actually shockingly really great. Dude, imagine getting a Dark Gift with this and you get the Battlecry that says your Battlecry procs twice. Like, that'd be... All right, then we got Lie in Wait, which is the first quest. This requires Rogue to shuffle 5 cards into your deck 5 times, and the reward is Master Dusk, which is a really cool, like, hero card, chat. Really cool. Ninja Turtles are being added to Hearthstone. 5 mana, Battlecry summon 2 3/3 ninjas with stealth. Your ninjas now shuffle back into your deck when they die, and it's 5 armor as well on top of that. In this set, there are a bunch of ways to shuffle ninjas into your deck, so it really works with all the synergies given in the package. Also chat, works really well with the card that is cost 1 less for each time you drew a card this game. And the fact is that it's endless and you can keep drawing cards. I actually think this is like a really good hero. And then the hero power is 1 mana, draw 2 cards that didn't start in your deck. So even if they clear your board, you get to do it again and get more ninjas, and they keep on coming back. And I think Rogue has the possibilities of just doing so much with a card like this. Is it an auto include into every Rogue deck? Probably not. But is it a very good card? I think so. It depends on how fast the metagame is, but I'm assuming based on the current power level of Hearthstone plus what the power level of the next expansion is, I think this quest line has a really good chance of being great. And I'm gonna put it in A. All right, we got Nabla the Watcher, 6 mana 5/7 warrior. Battlecry summon copies of your damaged minion, gives the copies rush. I am not a huge fan of this card. It feels very win more, and I feel like because it's 6 mana, it's kind of difficult to really get a lot of value from this. I think on average, if you do get a good board with this, you're probably already winning the game, so it feels like it will not be very useful. Not to say that it's useless. It's not the worst card I've ever seen. It's not unplayable, but it's not something I'm going to get really excited for, so I'm probably just going to put this in C tier. It seemed fine. Ignore me as I pronounce this horribly. Archaos, weird looking bird for priest. 3 mana 1/6. Whenever another friendly minion attacks, set its health equal to this minion's health, and it's a beast. Chat, I think this card's insane. I think this card has so much potential. If you play this on 3, it is a must kill card because your opponent is going to get so much value from this if you can't answer it. And there are a ton of different ways that this can be utilized. It's good in aggro. It's good in mid-range. It's probably good enough in control if you want to run some really good taunts for 3. I'm not really sure, but aggro priest seems the way you want to play this. Kill it, then resurrected the reborn. Yeah, there's also a spell that priest got that resurrects it with reborn for 5 mana. So that's your 3 cost right there. I don't think it's going to get nerfed. I think it's just a good card that people are going to complain about when it's really, really good against them. But we're going to put it in A for now. All right, then we got the priest quest, which is reach equilibrium. This is the first time we have 2 rewards for a single quest, which is kind of exciting. One of them requires you to cast 5 holy spells. The other one requires you to cast 5 shadow spells. For doing each individual quest, you get a minion. One of them is a taunt that Battlecry summons a copy. The other one is dealing 5 damage. If you complete both quests, they combine into the biggest boy possible, which is a 5-minute 8/8 that summons a copy of itself that has taunt, reborn, and it does 5 damage when it dies. I can tell you from personal experience, this quest is very good. This is a very easy quest to complete for priest, and it doesn't take very long to complete this, especially the shadow one, because the shadow one has a you have the drink from Perils in Paradise, which is basically completing it with 1 card, and then you have the holy spells to heal up after you use that. It's just so nice. I think this quest looks really good. I'm gonna put in a high cultist haren. 8 mana, 8/6 for Death Knight. Battlecry summon 2 Death Rattle minions from your deck and they fight. Dude, if I've learned anything from card games, mana cheating is very good. And this card not only mana cheats, draws, and puts them on your board, but you also get the Death Rattle effect if they die. I think this card slaps, bro. I think there are so many different ways you could play a card like this. The only time I'm not happy about it is if I draw my Death Rattle minions, which is the case with deck cards like this sometimes, but I think with enough density, you're pretty happy here. I think in Arena, by the way, this card is going to be really annoying if you have a good deck for it. Maybe this is the hottest contention here. I think that the possibility of a card like this is insane, and I think Death Knight can utilize it quite a bit. So I'm an A tier Andrew on this guy for sure. Ido of the Threshfleet, 4 mana 2/7. While this is alive, you get a 2-cost holy spell that gives a minion +2/+2 and divine shield. I don't even know how to really talk about this card. Here's my biggest concern for a card like this is that it's kind of really weak if you play it on turn 4. So if you are only playing this on turn 4 and hoping it lives, I don't know if you get as much value as the bird, because the bird from priest doesn't require you to spend any more mana. You just have to play the cards themselves. Well, this guy, you need to actually spend 2 mana to give +2/+2 and divine shield. When you get the spell, I'm assuming the way this interacts is that when this is on the board, this card is added to your hand, and then when it dies, you lose it. That's what I'm assuming. You want to play this like later on when you have a board and then like spam this on a couple minions. I just feel like Paladin can do way better stuff, and we'll get there when we get to the quest, but I'm going with like a C here. I don't think this card's being played that often. All right, this is why I think it's also bad, because I think Paladin is going to go in a completely different direction this expansion with Dive of the Galaka Depths. This is on the quest for Paladin. It's repeatable, the first time we've ever had this, and it requires you to summon 5 Murlocs. Your reward is Murlocs you summon gain +1/+1, and that is an effect that stacks. So if you complete this quest 5 times, your Murlocs that you summon afterwards would get +5/+5. This card seems extremely good, and it seems extremely annoying, and it's a quest that keeps on giving, so the longer the game goes, the more frustrating it will be. And if you don't have constant removal or constant ways to actually out-tempo the Paladin, you're gonna have a bad time. I feel like this card is gonna be one of the most hated cards in this entire set. I don't even think it's close, and based on every Murloc we've seen in this expansion plus what's available is crazy good. Where the hell is this quest? Chad, I'm gonna be honest, I think it's good. I think it's an S tier quest. I think it looks really good. Neri of the Crater, 3 mana 2/5 for Hunter. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, double its stats. Whenever you cast a 1-cost spell, cast it twice. This one's really interesting because it kind of goes against the quest, but if this card is played and you have a bunch of ways to utilize it, this is a very, very good card. But I don't know if you really want to play like that for Hunter. That's the weird part here. What kind of deck wants this for Hunter? There's probably going to be something that can be built around this. I'm just not sure if the payoff's going to be worth it, because this requires you to keep the card in your hand and then also have value from the quest, right? It might be the same vein as the Priest Legendary, to be honest. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the Priest Legendary might be here, because I think it's not on the same curve as the other ones or the same power level. But there's a lot of ways to utilize a card like this, right? So I'm actually fine with putting it in B. I think it could be played. Then we got the Hunter quest, the Food Chain. 1 mana quest, or obviously 1 mana quest is to play a 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack beast, and your reward is Shock. Shock is a 5-mana 9/9 with Rush. And you get a battle cry to get a random 8, 6, and 4 attack beast and set their cost to 2. It's important to note that Shock is also a beast, of course, because it's a dinosaur. This one, I think, has potential as well. I feel like people are going to really underestimate how easy this is to complete. This is a very easy thing to do. And chat, let me fucking tell you, the amount of tempo you're going to get from Shock after it's played is crazy. It's crazy. You guys really think this is bad? Why do you guys think this is bad? I'm actually genuinely confused why you guys think this is bad. How do you guys thought this is like an easy quest to complete? Like the tempo is crazy. It's bad and boring. Boring doesn't mean bad because HS is bad. Chat, I disagree with you. I'm going to be completely honest. I think you guys are out of your minds. I actually think the Hunter quest is pretty decent. And it may not be on the same power or the same power level as the Rogue and Priest one, but I do think it's really, really strong. All right. Razador, I don't know. 4-mana 7/7 battlecry, discard a random card from your hand, kindred your opponent's hand instead. Chat, we've gotten to the point where a 4-mana 7/7 can now discard a card from your opponent's hand. For those of you who don't know what kindred is, it requires you to play a card that has the same spell school or tribe in the previous turn. So as long as you play a beast or a demon before you play this, you get a 4-mana 7/7 that will burn a card from your opponent. That is really strong. That is a huge tempo play right there. And you get a thick beast. If you don't play the kindred, are you okay with burning a card? Potentially, depends on what it is, but their potential is crazy on this card, right? It's a good card. So then I have to ask myself, is it gonna get nerfed? No way. They're not nerfing a 4-mana 7/7. I'm gonna put it in B. I think it's a good card. I don't think you want to build for it though. Krog, Crater King, 9-mana 8/7. At the end of your turn, set the attack and health of all enemy minions to 1, and it's a beast. What is Blizzard doing? Now, the only reason this card actually might see play chat is because of the food chain, because you could get it for 2 mana, which is kind of sick. If you don't get it randomly generated. Okay, Escape the Underfell. 1 mana for, this is the Warlock quest. You have to play 6 temporary cards and your reward is the Underfell Rift. The Underfell Rift is like a location on board and you can drag a card into it and you'll get 2 Fell Beasts. The Fell Beasts are a Fell Screamer, which is a 5-mana 5/3 with Rush and Lifesteal, a Fell Raptor, which is a 5-mana 4/4 with Charge and Elusive, or you get the Fell Horn, which is a 5-mana 3/5 with Taunt and Reborn. Overall, in my opinion, I think this quest is gonna be bad. I think unless you can get the temporary cards in play very early on, you need to get this shit done ASAP. As much as the quests are really, really good, or the minions are really good, if you don't have a good enough hand, I just don't see a world where this is gonna be playable. Now the thing is, this quest is gonna be a little bit of an asterisk because if they print more temporary cards, I feel like it's gonna get a lot better, but I think it's a C tier. I don't think it's unplayable. All right. Can we skip this card? Can we skip this card? Do we need to talk about Toru here? Thank God it's for Demon Hunter, by the way. 9-mana 7/7 battle cry. Put each minion in your hand into 0/1 jars that cost 1. Break them to release the minions. I don't know why you want this card. I don't know how you use this card. I literally don't. Like, we've seen every card in this set. I don't get it. How do you play this? Like, did anyone figure out anything for this card? Like, I don't. It's so slow, man. It's so slow. Like, it's so slow. I don't know how you play this card. It's so bad. I really don't understand. All right, that leads us to the Demon Hunter quest. Unleash the Colossus. A 1-mana quest for Demon Hunter. Deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy on your turn 15 times, and you get Gorishi the Colossus, or Gorishi Colossus, I should say, which is a 5-mana 8/8 battle cry for the rest of the game. Whenever you deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy, deal 2 more. This one I might be slightly biased in. I'm not gonna say anything else about that. I think this quest is horrific. I think it's really bad. I think the problem with it is by the time you get this quest done, I feel like you're just not going to have enough resources for this quest to actually be good enough to run. And which is great because fuck Demon Hunter. If you have a card that says deal 2 damage to all minions on the board, each time that dealt 2 damage to a minion, that procs this. So that is a thought. Immolation Aura, for instance, with spell damage would deal 2 damage twice, and every time that would hit a minion, that would also proc this. So it's not like you need to do 15 damage or 2 damage 15 times individually in an instance. It is just dealing 2 damage 15 times, which is a little bit of an upside to actually completing this. I just think the reward's not good enough. That's my biggest concern. I feel like by the time you get to it, it's just not doing enough. I don't think it's unplayable. People might try it out. Maybe like the way you want to build it is with Zerg. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not a huge fan of this quest. I feel like it's ridiculously hard to do properly. Restore the Wild. This is a 1-mana quest for Druid. Quest, fill your board on 3 of your turns. Reward, you get the Everbloom, which is a weapon that's a 3-mana 2/5. After your hero attacks, give your minions +2/+2. This is a crazy amount of value for a weapon. I will say this. I don't know if it's a bug, but chat, if you have your board full and it goes to the start of your turn, it procs the quest. I did not know that, for the record. I did not know that. So that is an interesting thing. Regardless, there is actually a lot of ways to get this done, and you kind of put your opponent in a weird spot where they kind of need to clear literally everything, because when the weapon is played, any minions on board will just become that much more annoying. And the fact you don't have to play any mana, or you don't have to spend any mana to actually get the buff, is insane. I think a lot of people are gonna underestimate how annoying this is gonna be. So I'm thinking B, bro. I maybe even A. Like, I think it's very possible that this is the way you're gonna play Druid for this expansion. Bralma Searstone. 3-mana 1/5, your elementals deal 1 extra damage. I have no idea how to evaluate this card other than the fact that a lot of the elementals in this set for Shaman are pretty good, because there's a lot of elementals that deal 2 damage randomly split among enemies. I think this card actually has a lot of synergy with elementals, and it's like a weird kind of damage buff, kind of like a Bloodlust in a sense. If you have your board's full of elementals, it's possible to make this work. I just don't know if this is what you want to build towards when the quest looks so much juicier. That's the thing. The quest looks juicy, and we'll get to that in a quick second. I think it's not as good as I hope it would be. Or, I mean, I don't know if I hope it would be good, but I actually think it has potential. It's kind of a card you can just slot in. Titanographer Osk. 7-mana 7/7, gain a random Titan ability in your hand that changes each turn. This, I mean, I'm not going to go through every Titan ability here, bro, but you could probably make a guess that some of these are very good, some of these are whatever, and most of them are going to be okay. The problem is that this is 7 mana, and you have to kind of get really lucky with what Titan ability you're going to get. Obviously, if you high roll, it's crazy. Like, if I got, I don't know, restore full health for 7 mana, like, that's kind of good. Like, some of these are like really powerful, but most of the time I just feel like you're not super excited for a card like this. Now, to be fair, this card might still see play because a Titan ability on average is good enough, but I think it's like a C. I don't think it's D. I think it's definitely like a thought process going into it. The Forbidden Sequence, 1-mana quest for Mage. Discover 8 cards and you get the Origin Stone. The Origin Stone is a weapon that you get to equip for 3 mana for Mage. After you discover a card, this plays the other options, lose 1 durability. Chat, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think it's an S tier card. Dude, I think like the potential with this card is so insanely high, it's crazy. Like, let me give you like a dream here, boys. You play this with what is that card, like Dimensional Rift or something? Every time you discover a card, it plays the other 2 copies. That's crazy. If you play Malorn, you get to pick from the wild gods that have dark gifts. You get to pick the wild god you want for the battle cry, and then you get to summon the 2 other wild gods with dark gifts. Wait, what did I say? Pocket Galaxy. Oh, what did I say? Dimensional Rift or something? I don't remember. Pocket Dimension, yeah. I think this quest is also just extremely good. Slot into almost every Mage deck. It's not hard for Mage to discover 8 cards, and the reward is insanely powerful. And you get to do it 8 times. I think it's an S tier card. I think it's insane. I actually could see it getting nerfed. All right, Lo the Living Legend, a 7-mana 5/5 battle cry. Your minions cost 5 this game. Druid likes doing some stupid stuff, and I think this is an extremely good way of doing some stupid stuff for Druid. The thing is, you probably get to use this effect once, if that. You have to find a way to cheat this. You can play this, and then it kind of has to live, and then you can kind of pop off. The only way this gets better is with the Giants, right? Which is what people are saying in chat. That's the real powerfulness with Giants. Isn't this Aviana but worse? Aviana has to be on board. This doesn't. So that's the only case I think that this is going to really shine with Ceaseless, because you could do like a disgusting turn with this. Has potential. Even if you're not only doing Giants, if you're playing like really big minions, it's great. The problem is, dude, if you don't draw this, like, you're kind of cooked. Like, your whole deck is probably going to be based around this card. So you could build around it, and it might be really good. Is there a way to tutor this, chat? Is there, like, does anyone know if there's a way to tutor this on board? or in your hand. I think it's an A tier card if you can draw this consistently on 7. If I could play this card on 7 every single game, I think I'm pretty happy with it. And I think it's going to be very, very strong. If I can't, it's like a C tier card. It's like the difference is not the card, because the card is powerful. It's how often I'm playing this for 7 on 7. All right, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I've already said this before. Enter the Lost City, 1 mana quest for warrior. It's to survive 10 turns, and then you get Latorvius Gaze of the City, which is get 2 random Journey to Ungoro quests. The rewards to shuffle the rest into your deck. Before I get into why, chat, let me just put it where I think this belongs. Okay, here's my reason for this. Most of the quest rewards from Ungoro are so bad. They're so trash, dude. And you have to survive 10 turns. Let me go through them. You don't care about another portal. You don't care about the random 1/3s in your the random 1 mana 3/2s in your deck. Amara is good. That's one that you're like pretty happy to see in your hand. Galvadon is like maybe. Megafin's pretty ass. Sulfurous is honestly in 2025 pretty ass, but it's not like horrible. Queen Cardassian, like I said, with the 1 mana 3/2s is fine. It has Rush now, so it's kind of okay. Crystal Core is trash. Like it's you do not want to see this. Barnabas the Stomper potentially, but at this point I think it's too late in the game for it to matter. Time Warp is the only one that matters. It is the only one other than Amara that I think is extremely relevant in this. If you get Time Warp, you are extremely happy, because Time Warp obviously is a game-winning spell and it can lead to some insane moments and potentially might be the payoff. I think if this card said survive 10 turns reward, you get Time Warp, I think it's actually playable. But the fact is, dude, is if you don't get Time Warped and the rest of them are shuffled into your deck, it's too slow. And I feel like by the time you play this and you didn't die after playing a 5 mana 8/8, you probably already won the game. I want to make this very clear. Like, I think this card is bad, but I think it's incredibly fun to play with. And I think that's the most important thing. It is what it is. I do not care. I do not care. If it's fun, that's awesome. And I hope it is, but you're not playing this competitively. City Chief Isho, 6 mana 5/7 battlecry. If every minion in your deck shares a minion type, give your other minions +2/+2. This kind of follows the same vein as like the Druid guy. If you play this on 6, it's not horrible, but honestly, if you're not playing this on 6, the later the game goes, this is worse. I'd rather play Rock and Roll or Black Rock and Roll than this card, I think, on average. Maybe with the Paladin deck you play this because it's just an extra +2/+2. But honestly, who cares? I'd rather run another Murloc. This one's kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of not bad. Demons might like this. There's potential. I'm gonna put C. Torga, 4 mana 2/7 battlecry. Draw a kindred card and another card that activates it. Chat, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think this card's pretty good. I think this card's pretty good. The fact is it's 4 mana to draw 2 is kind of good for classes that want it. And it's a 2/7 and it's a beast. So that's fantastic. Also, it fits into the Hunter deck if you need to draw some beasts with Kindred, because some of that might matter. It works with the Murloc deck, but it's also because it's a beast and undead. If you want it for like, I don't know. I don't know. Potential's really good. I think the card's really strong. It's also like a good stat line. It's nothing like insane, and I think cards are allowed to be boring, but I think this card's actually very, very good. Like I think it's an A tier card. Like you could slot this into almost. Actually, I'll be a little conservative. I'll put a B. Elise the Navigator, 4 mana 3/5 battlecry. If your deck started with 10 cards of different costs, craft a custom location. This card's very reminiscent to Kazakhstan. If you guys play, not Kazakhstan, to Kazakus. If you play with that, basically you're making a 10, 5, or 1 cost location, and depending on what you pick is the potential like powerfulness of the effects. Most of you be like, oh, I want to pick the 10 mana guy. You're not picking the 10 mana guy, chat. You're picking a 5 or a 1. Because this is going to take a long time for this to operate and to go through every single durability. And honestly, most of the time you're going to want to play Elise into the 5 cost if that's what you're going to go for. I legitimately think this card may not be good enough, but some of the effects are actually pretty decent. So if you want to go for the 5 or 1, I think it's very possible. And there's some really good ones that can help you a lot. The nice thing is the location. So like it's always on board, and whenever you need it, you can just activate the effect and get it. So that's cool. I just don't know how powerful that really is going to be. It's hard to evaluate. I think it's a C, but it honestly might be a B. Endbringer Umbra, 7 mana 6/6 battlecry. Triggered the death rattles of 5 friendly minions that died this game. Cool card. Awesome. We've already seen it in game. I'm not going to really evaluate this card, but we already know how good it is. And I can also bring up like kind of some stats here for it. How good is it? Probably playable, right? Seems good. Just looking at the stats, seems like a pretty good card. So let's just get this one out of the way. Spirit of the Mountain, 1 mana quest, play 7 minions of unique types, and the reward is Ashelon. Echelon is crazy cool. 5 mana 8/8 battlecry, adapt twice for the rest of the game. Give minions you play those adaptions. Chat, some of the adaptions, just for the record, are Taunt, Stealth, Divine Shield, Elusive, Death Rattle, summon 2/1/1 plants. I don't remember if Rush is one. I don't think it is because it wasn't in the game. There's Wind Fury, there's Poisonous. There's some really good combinations here is basically what I'm putting. And I think this is extremely easy for Shaman to complete. And depending on what combination you get, the game might just be over. It's good. It's good. It's a good quest. Could you double trigger the battle cry is even stronger? You could. Yeah, you could use Shutter Block on this, right? And then all of a sudden your minions are just absurd. I think that the reward is super, super powerful. And like, I think people will be able to figure out how to make this quest work. But I think it's like an A tier quest. I think you can easily build around this. It might be B, but I think it's in the same vein as like the Druid one. I think like people are going to underestimate how good it actually is. And then they're going to play against it like, what the fuck? All right, last but not least, we have Reanimate the Terror. 1 mana quest, spend 18 corpses, reward is Tyrex the Bone Terror. Tyrex is a 5 mana 8/8 with a Death Rattle open Terror's Grave. It has Death Rattle, resummon Tyrex. And this is what it looks like. Guys, I think this, guys, I hate to say this. I think this quest is horrible. I think it's so bad. I don't know why you, like, it's not even hard to complete. It just feels like by the time you get this out, it's like, why did I play this? Like, it just feel like I'm not playing a 5 mana 8/8, bro, and then having it as a location. There's just no way. Like, luckily for me, I think the other legendary that Death Knight got really good. But I just think it's just, I just don't see it in any world. Hey, Cora, what's up? Cora, what do you think the best legendary of this set is? I think Torga is the best. I think Torga is really good. I'm just, based on the requirement though, like, I think A is something you build around. B is something that's good that you'll play in your deck. C is like, you might put it in, but it's going to be tough. I'll move Elise to B. She's playable. I like it. Chat, is it the perfect list? Say yes. Say yes, please. Say yes. I think it's perfect. I think the Mage quest is going to be so good, man. I think the Mage quest is just